Hi guys, so I don't really know where I'm going to go with this video. I haven't planned out what I'm going to say or anything, but I guess I'll just start talking. Let me just say really quick, the reason I'm dressed like this is, and the reason I look nice I guess is because I just came from work, so I got kind of nice for work, but we were planning on going to dinner tonight with Zachary's family, and so I wanted to look nice, so I curled my hair, which I never do. I have makeup on, which is probably kind of running off now. And I put a nice black dress on. And we were just about to walk out of the door like 30 minutes ago, and as you can see I didn't go. I'm still here. So this video is just going to be an explanation as to why I don't have a job anymore. It's not going to be a great explanation because I don't even know why I don't have a job anymore, but I wanted to make a video about it because I posted about it on social media and I was getting a lot of questions about it, and I don't know, I just wanted to like give you guys information, I guess. I don't want like sympathy for this video. I'm not trying to make this video for views or anything. I'm really just trying to let you guys know like what's going on. So that's the purpose of me making this video, and I'm gonna try not to cry because I feel like I shouldn't and it's really not that serious, but for some reason it makes me emotional. Okay, I just changed clothes really quick so that I'm more comfortable since I'm not going anywhere now. But I've talked about it a little bit before on my channel. I'm not going to use names because I don't want to expose anybody. I don't want to slander anybody. The purpose of this video is not to call anybody out or make anyone look bad or anything like that. It's really just to explain my situation, my story, and how I look at it. So for those of you who don't know, I was working at this job for about 4 months. I think I started working there like right before Christmas time, so in December. Now it's the middle of April, so yeah, about 4 months I've been working there. And the beginning of it was good. It was fine. I really liked the job and there wasn't really any issues. I just was new, so I wasn't so great at the job, but I caught on really quickly, and from there my sales were really great. It was a sales position, so I was always working on my sales and making sure that I was always in the top. I was in like the top 5 or the top 3 recently, and so I really tried really hard in that job, and I made it like a priority to be good at what I was doing regardless of how little the job paid or how unimportant the job was. So there's that. But like I mentioned in my last video, recently I've just been having issues with the company. Not even the company, more so my boss. I'll just give my boss the name Sandy for the purpose of this video. But so Sandy needed extra help at a certain location, and I did not want to work at that location, and she asked me if I would work there for her, and I tried to say no, and she basically talked me into it. And because I know they needed extra help there, I said okay, fine. And Sandy told me that it would only be for a week or 2 or so until they found more coverage, just because we were so short-staffed. So I said okay, fine, and I worked that store, and next week would have been like my 4th week working there, and there was never any news of me maybe finally transferring back to my favorite store or anything like that. It just seemed as if I was stuck there, so I was already kind of upset about that, but I was letting it slide just because my sales were improving at that location, and I figured, well, my sales are improving and I'm kind of learning this store now, so I'll just kind of deal with it. So I just kind of let that slide. But then just here and there, small things had been happening, like Sandy would tell me that she saw something on my social media, or that someone told her about it. I don't think she actually saw it because I know she doesn't follow me, and I've looked for her social media and couldn't find anything. So I feel like someone had told her about stuff that I was posting, and the things that I were posting were not even bad. They're not something that I should be like in trouble for at my job. I would just post things like like I'm looking for a new job, I don't like my schedule, like things like that, like nothing that anyone should have taken personally or that should make me lose my job over. And even at one point I posted that we needed extra help at the company just because we were short staffed and it would be great if people could apply, and I guess Sandy didn't like that and she gave me a verbal warning about it, which didn't make sense, but I let that slide too. And then I guess people had been telling my manager that I was being negative about working at this new store, which isn't true. I was just saying I'd rather be somewhere else, but I never said it in a negative way. I was really just stating like my emotions and how I felt about it and like my opinion, so I feel like that's something that I shouldn't like get in trouble for. But so like I said, things have just been happening like slowly, just like things like just keep on happening. But like the biggest thing was our schedule for next week came out yesterday, and I usually work 6 days a week for about 38 hours for the week. And when I saw the schedule, it said I only worked 4 days and for 26 hours total. So I was like, I was already suspicious at that point because like, why am I all of a sudden not working as many hours, especially because we still need more employees, like we were still kind of short staffed. So it really like got me thinking, but I don't know, I just kind of left it alone because I was already looking for a new job anyway, so I wasn't too worried about it. But then, as I was looking at it just today, I noticed that the shift I was supposed to work tomorrow was also removed. And that like really just didn't make sense because the shift wasn't even given to a different employee. It was just put under a category that was not covered at all. So they took the shift away from me but didn't get it covered by someone else, meaning like it just wasn't a covered shift. Like no one was going to show up for this shift. So that really got me thinking like what's going on, but I still just left it alone because I was like, well, maybe they want to put someone new there. Maybe they're giving me an extra day off, but no one notified me, and I just kind of like let it go. I didn't think about it too much. Plus I was at work all day, so I was like with customers and stuff, I just kind of let it slip my mind. So I got home today at about 4:30 and I got an email saying that I was removed from a shift. And I clicked on it and it was just a shift for tomorrow. So I was like, oh, okay, I already knew that. But I opened our app anyways that shows us our schedule, and all of my shifts for next week were gone. And that kind of told me right there, like something's going on, like you're losing your job or something, or like, I don't know. It's just like, why would they just take my shifts away and like not tell me? So I was texting one of my best friends, who I also won't give her a name, but I was texting her and I was like, girl, like what's going on? Like all my shifts are gone, like I don't know what's happening. And she was like, you need to call Sandy right now. And as I was texting her, I got a call from corporate and they were like, hi, can I speak to Morgan? I was like, this is her. And the girl from corporate was like, you are suspended for the next 2 weeks. You'll have a meeting with another corporate person on May 4th where we will talk about things, but for now you're suspended and cannot work. And I was like, okay, why? And she couldn't give me an answer. And I was like, how can you not give me an answer? Like, you're telling me that I'm still hired by you but I can't even work? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would I continue to be employed by you if I'm not even working any shifts? Like, I don't understand that. And she said that she could not give me an answer. She was like, oh, well, everything will just be talked about during the meeting. And I was like, so you're telling me that I'm not going to work for 2 weeks and I won't find out why until I go to a meeting? And she was like, yeah. So I told her, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to quit then, because that's like BS. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not just going to sit back and not work and not know why I'm not working. So I said that to her and she was like, oh, so you're going to put in your resignation? And I was like, yes. And she was like, okay, thank you. Like, she didn't even care. Like, it almost seemed as if that's the result she was looking for, which also irks me. Like, if you wanted to fire me, just fire me. Like, don't tell me that I'm on like probation for 2 weeks and not tell me why. So I was already really upset at that point. So I called Sandy and I was like, I don't know if you know, but corporate just called me and said I'm suspended for 2 weeks. Like, do you know why? And she was like, no, I don't know why, but they called me like 10 minutes earlier and said that I needed to get all your shifts covered for next week. And I just said, okay. So then I was like, well, are you sure you don't know? Like, I've had issues with Sandy before, and I never knew if she liked me or not, and we've had our battles, so I didn't know, like, if it was something between her and she just didn't want to tell me, or if it was something else, but she seemed sincere over the phone, so I wanted to trust her. So I took her word for it, and I just let it go. And I told her, like, okay, well, I know it's not your fault, but just so you know, I did quit, because I don't think that's fair that corporate can just tell me not to work for 2 weeks and just wait for them. So I did quit. And she said that she was sorry, and she sounded sincere, so I trust her. So I called corporate back because I just, like, I couldn't just settle for not having an answer as to why I was suspended, because I feel like I was a really good employee to that company. Like I said, I was really good in sales. Like, for the last month, I've either been number 1, 2, or 3 in sales all month. And the store lead who was at my store, my sales were better than hers, which says something considering she's in a higher position than I am, and she's been there longer than I have. I was always early to my shifts. If I couldn't make it to a shift, I always got it covered. I always helped out other people if they needed shifts covered. I always got my cleaning done. Like, I just feel like I really was excelling in that job. I never had any customer complaints. Like, nothing was ever wrong. Like, I made friends with all the employees, so I really cannot think of a reason. So I called corporate back like 10 minutes after they had called me, but the office had been closed because it was after 5 o'clock. So I left a message and I just let them know, like, I will be calling you guys every day until I get a reason as to why I was suspended, because I feel like it's not fair. And I know that there's like a Nevada law that they don't have to have a reason, but they didn't just randomly pick a name and say, we're gonna fire this girl, because we were short staffed. Like I said, like, we needed employees. They're not just gonna pick someone and fire them just because. Like, they have a reason. And even if they're not, like, required to give it to me, I feel like I deserve to know why I lost my job. As of right now, I just don't have a job. I don't know how to feel about that. I want to be, like, happy that I can relax for a little bit, but it makes me more stressed that I don't have a job. So that's my story. I'm just gonna end the video here. I feel like I left parts out, but you guys get the gist of it, and I didn't want to make this video longer than it had to be. So thank you guys for watching, and I guess just hope that I fall into a better job. Bye, guys. Okay, actually, one last thing, you guys. I was just trying to upload this video, so I was just watching someone else's YouTube video while everything was loading, and I got a notification that I had a new subscriber, so I went and looked who it was, and it was one of the old managers at the job that I literally just lost. And that actually blows my mind, because that basically tells me that it was something I had said on social media that caused me to lose my job or get suspended. And the fact that she's gonna go and subscribe to me hours after it just happened just, like, tells me how shady people are. And like she literally went and subscribed to me right after it happened. That's almost like putting it in my face, like, yeah, it was me, now I'm gonna subscribe to you because I've already been watching your videos and, like, ratting you out. Like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, grow up, please. You have children, and you're way older than me. I'm just 20 years old, just trying to live my life. I don't know. I just thought I'd add that to you guys because I feel like it's a big part of the story. And it literally just happened like less than 5 minutes ago. So now that's the end of my story. Thank you guys for watching.